Number one Ibble Dibble here. Hello, friends. Welcome back to part two of my review of With Love Megan episode 1. Thanks for watching. Seriously, I'm always late to the game and appreciate you all not letting me shout into a void. Was anyone else a bit mystified that the Baltics was the best region for With Love Megan? I even got some sugar and spice comments in the Cyrillic alphabet, like this. This is fun. Can someone in the know tell me what language this is? I believe it's Bulgarian, but not sure. So, Balkan, not Baltic, but definitely also the Russian world, as they say, not Anglosphere. Also, what kind of witch? Google Translate struggled with this one, and I'd very much like to look up the lore of my people. Anyway, this sudden popularity was a mystery to me until I saw this. Oh, piggybacking off the popularity of the real royal family yet again. There's been a press buildup, etc., with William, and they're curious, of course. So back to episode 1, the cookery commences. First, she makes truffle flavored popcorn, which I'm sure is fine because she can afford the truffle oil that's actually infused with black truffles, not synthetic flavoring. And if Daniel loves it, sure, okay, whatever. Truffle oil, truffle salt, sure. I feel like a bit of depth, like maybe the classic pairing of white pepper and truffle could elevate this. But I can't cook for shit, so people who can, let me know in the comments below. She repeats truffle 5 times. Truffle, 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 truffle. As if she's going to forget it or it's fun to say. There are no kids running around, so I think she just talks to herself a lot, which is fine, but I don't know, probably could have planned something better for the cameras. Truffle, 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 truffle. No wonder she didn't get a ton of work as an actress. She's definitely not a natural. One thing I thought was strange is that she pops a beautiful whole dried cob of multicolor maize in the microwave, presumably to get the aesthetic of that half fluffy cob with the different colors. But then, instead of drizzling it with something and putting it in the bowl, she just throws it away and puts microwave popcorn in a plastic bag with a label on it, like she's selling to a local co op. I guess she's testing for the Meghan Mart. If she gets positive feedback on something, they'll sell it. Her next segue is equally weird.
And since we put all of our energy into making those, this we're just going to put into a different bag.
Tossing some oil and salt onto microwaved popcorn took up all our energy? And we're expected to believe that Megs loves to cook and cooks for a family of 4 with some frequency. Am I failing to grasp her sarcasm because it doesn't contrast sufficiently with her overly flat affect? Or is she for real for real? Regarding the widely derided re-plastic bagging of Trader Joe's peanut butter pretzels, that's just crazy for someone who hopes to sell pricey, purportedly farm to table organic snacks. Even if you like her, having seen this, how can you believe that you're getting what you're paying for and not something repackaged from a Costco supplier? I kind of disagree with people saying if she knows Daniel loves peanut butter, she knows Daniel doesn't have a nut allergy. Well, look, she also knows that Daniel will inevitably abandon these at airport security on his way back to New York. So I think this is intuitive and considerate, actually. JK, she just needs to put a label on everything, right? She loves labels. Also, vote in the comments below. Is it corny to leave
A late night nibble.
in a guest room? I mean, it's not a hotel. Presumably, your friend is coming to visit you to spend time With you, I never assumed anyone staying with me would want to stay up all night eating popcorn after a leisurely dinner or fun night out. If we were getting some drunken takeout or whatever, we'd be doing that together. I'm curious now. Let me know in the comments what you actually want in a guest room. I would not even touch bath salts and popcorn. I think a kettle, a few different tea bags, maybe a couple pears or clementines makes more sense for more people. Yeah, let me know. Then there's this strange moment where she makes coffee but doesn't talk about it or drink it. I can't imagine her not using an opportunity to push the companies she's invested in. So if there's some Instagram tie in here, I'm unaware of it. Yes, I will look at her Instagram. I've just been putting it off. I'm genuinely scared to look. People are saying that she's flirting with the director, Michael. I don't really get that impression. It seems more to me like she's seeking his approval. She seems to know this is trash and she looks embarrassed. I don't know, maybe a third of the time. And he is not throwing her any kind of bone. Michael Steed won 6 Primetime Emmys over 5 years in a row, simultaneously producing Anthony Bourdain Parts Unknown and David Chang Mind of a Chef. I genuinely cannot imagine the money that changed hands to get him in the room with her and what in the world could have happened for him to allow this to air. She asks what he's drinking, and you can kind of hear him say, okay. Obviously, he's not near the mics. And she replies,
A latte, love.
it really took me a minute to understand she was being punny. A latte love, a lot of love, a lot of love. Okay. I was confused because you can't hear Michael very well, but from what I could hear, he didn't seem to be West Country or Cockney or anything like that. So I didn't really get it. I don't, Megs, leave the dad jokes to the dads. Next, she makes a crudite platter, and she says crudite like this.
There's nothing so fancy about a crudite platter except that it's called crudite.
She makes a face and does a voice.
Crudite.
She needs to chill with the feigned ignorance and the normalization of ignorance. Could you imagine a French person like, there's nothing so fancy about a beefsteak, except it is called beefsteak. Like what? The word was borrowed into the language 500 years ago. There's no need to act like the people who use it are pretentious. Does she really think people who buy truffle salt have never said the word crudité? Who is she trying to relate to with this? With some frequency, I get comments decrying my quote unquote condescending tone or laugh. I'm obviously disdainful and skeptical of all things Meghan, and when I laugh at the many related absurdities, my giggle is by turns sardonic and exasperated. I am never condescending. Condescending is when you talk down to your audience. Sugars, if you're confused, this?
Crudite.
What Megan's doing and saying here,
there's nothing so fancy about a crudite platter except that it's called crudite.
This is condescension. Anyway, Megan's guest arrives, and it is Daniel, her makeup artist. He looks incredibly uncomfortable, terrified even. He seems genuinely sweet, and he's trying very hard to make conversation, but it's immediately obvious that he knows nothing about food.
Why doesn't anyone ever present peas like this? They're like green pearls.
Well, that's sweet. Green pearls.
Green pearls.
Green pearls, girls.
And perhaps it's just because they're on camera and neither of them seems to want to be there. There's just zero chemistry or camaraderie between them.
Seriously, every time I leave your house, I gain like 10 pounds. You're always feeding me.
It's healthful things. It's 10 pounds of joy.
Hallelujah.
Do you hear that?
It's 10 pounds of joy.
I don't even have to show you the video clip. You can hear that no one is smiling. Next is the best and worst scene in the episode, in my opinion. It's a good scene, but it makes you squirm. Meghan tasks Daniel with chopping cherry tomatoes in half, and it's extremely clear he has never sliced a vegetable before, which is already, whoa, how did they put him on this show? And then he cuts himself. Is this how Meghan plans to help her viewers, who she's made very clear she believes to be low-class, resentful muppets, feel better than someone? Remember this?
Because you're bored or because it sells your papers?
or it makes you feel better about your own life, it's real what you're doing.
They better move into Meghan's double height great room, as they call it in McMansions, because the projection is huge. Poor Daniel. Why do I get the feeling that he is just the first of her sacrificial lambs? Okay, that's enough for today. I can't stand it anymore, but I will be back for part 3. Let me know in the comments below. Do you feel badly for Daniel, or should he never have agreed to this? Toodles. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.